I know that this pretty much goes without saying as a Christian, but one of the hardest things to do, and possibly one of the most important things to do as a Christian man, is to be able to forgive people right to their face as they blatantly disrespect you or as they just spread negativity and hate or anger um, due to like an unhealed wound or just whatever kind of disorder they have. Like, maybe it's because I spent so much time researching and reading the word and kind of being internal self reflection that maybe I just haven't been tested by the world enough. But now that I'm kind of starting to open myself up, get out there, I'm really starting to see like yeah, it's easy to say, yeah, you got to forgive just like how Jesus did. It's easy to say, yeah, all you got to do is just love somebody. Love is always the answer, right? But the hard part is really like straight up when somebody is just flat out disrespectful to you. For example, like somebody cuts you off in traffic. Somebody, you know, as you're going for a run, somebody's like mocking you and shouting at you. Um, Maybe there's a teacher in your life who leads with an iron fist, or maybe it's your parents and they can never accept you as enough. It takes a unique will to be able to say, that's okay. I'm not going to listen to what they have to say, because I know that I love God enough for his love to be enough for me. Like, it's important for us to realize that everybody is human, right? We're all mortal. We all bleed blood. No human is above one another. No matter what title they have, no matter how much money they have, no matter how much more experience they even have, it takes a unique individual to be able to see their quote unquote idols, or the people who are above them, elders, as not only teachers but as equals. I feel this personally in my life, like, as somebody who's an extrovert, as somebody who speaks to a lot of different people, and I love speaking to a lot of different people, I recognize that with the good comes the bad. It's not like you're only going to meet people who love God and are very positive and forgiving and are in a great mentality, great mind space. You're going to have people who you come across who are just, flat out disrespectful about God, about you, and honestly, at the end of the day, about themselves. And the most important part is to understand that, like, it's nothing personal. It's never you. Like, literally, it is never you. What they're speaking from is a pain point in themselves. And I'm not saying to avoid accountability at all times, but if you're a God-fearing man and you're going on this path of righteousness, you should know, like, you should be able to know when you are doing things that are not righteous. So whenever somebody attacks you, it's like, what did I do wrong? Nothing. You didn't do anything wrong. That's the whole point. The whole point is to love, even if somebody hates you. Love your enemy, right? Um, and therefore, you have no enemies. So, because if you love everybody, you're never going to be malicious towards somebody. Somebody may be toward you, but are you towards them? No. So that's something I'm just particularly noticing in my life. Like, maybe I've let too many people in. Maybe my kindness and my niceness, my willingness to have conversations, like, it interferes with my personal space. And I think it's important to set boundaries as a Christian, as somebody who loves to give and to serve. What's equally as important is to say, all right, here's my privacy, here's my private time, right? Here's my servitude, and here's my private time, because I need time to reflect upon myself. I need time to express myself without the opinion or judgment, whether it's good judgment and opinion or bad judgment and opinion of others, because either way, there's somebody else in there. Need to have time for just you and God. And it's very liberating when you set that time apart, because you can articulate yourself better, you can speak from a positive heart posture, and it just strengthens your discernment. You don't get in arguments, you don't think about, oh, what should the next step be, because you have had these conversations with God. Not only that, but you know his word, so you know the principles to follow. So the decisions become pretty easy when you just take those principles into your own life. So just think it's very important to forgive others, but at the same time, give yourself space to spend time with God.